Welcome to practicing with me a moderate level yoga practice that includes requested poses such as shoulder stand and plow pose, as well as work for the feet. I'm doing this video in response to a request. At a moderate level, of course, I encourage you to listen to your body and modify if you need to, or take a break when you need to. If this is the first video you're watching with me, my name is Brianne Barrett, and at the time of this recording, I've been leading yoga classes and meditations for over 15 years. I hope you enjoy the video. Come to a comfortable seat. And this for you might be easy pose, this might be cross-legged, or I'm in half lotus with 1 foot high. Certainly if you've been practicing longer and your hips agree with it, you can certainly take a full lotus. For those beginners, if that's uncomfortable, you're welcome to take a diamond shape, or even straight legs is always acceptable. Just use your hands as a support. And since you're at home, if you're uncomfortable sitting on the floor like this, you can always use a pillow under your bum. A little bit of a lift in your seat would help you lower your knees. If you're needing energy today, place hands palms up, maybe even thumb to index finger. If you're looking more for unwinding and de-stressing, turn the palms down. Let's all start to close our eyes. As your eyelids come to touch, notice yourself in space. Give yourself a moment to arrive here on the mat. What does it mean for you to arrive and be here and simply here? Can you give yourself permission to let go of whatever filled your day? And I invite you to turn your attention and awareness inward. As you're turning your attention inward, notice your body and all things that might call your attention right now, or even places that you might overlook. And take a deeper breath and draw yourself under the layers of yourself. Imagining the breath helps you slip underneath the first layer of your skin. Lightness fills the rest of your body. Notice internally what you might be bringing into this practice tonight. If you haven't yet, I welcome you to deepen the breath, and as best you can, breathe in and out through the nose. And perhaps tonight using a 4 or 6 count inhale and a 4 or 6 count exhale. If you're a beginner, a basic breath would be a belly breath. So encouraging the inhale to go into the belly, almost imagining your belly could inflate like a balloon, and filling it up with the 4 to 6 count inhale. Whatever count you're doing on the inhale, match with your exhale and make the exhale just as powerful and important. Can you feel any difference from the right nostril to the left? Can you feel any difference down the right lung to the left? Noticing the breath expands in your front body and your back body. Your front getting bigger on the inhale as well as your back getting bigger. Feel the system of the breath. It's just a pressure system of the breath. So on the inhale, we create more space and we invite the breath in. On the exhale, we reduce the space and let the breath back out. How does that show up in your life? Can you breathe in as much as you breathe out? Do you fill yourself up? Do you nourish yourself? Take care of your own self-care as much as you take care of others? And can you find the balance here on the mat with the breath and off the mat in your life? As we're breathing, eyes are still closed and there's a softness in our forehead. The jaw is unhinged, the mouth is spacious, the throat fills the neck. And we feel the shoulders slide down the back. Feel our seat more grounded. Maybe even a little bit more lift on the inhale to the top of the head. If you'd like to, I welcome you to set a thought or an intention for this yoga practice. No matter where you are in your practicing of yoga, remind yourself that your breath is your home base, your breath is the most important piece, and you'll find your yoga practice riding on your breath. So at any point you get distracted within and the layers of the self, your breath will bring you back. If you haven't yet, let's open our eyes. Lift up tall through the top of the head, tuck the chin to chest, and we'll circle the head right ear to right shoulder. Let your head fall back and come around. Of course, if you have any neck issues, you can go side to side instead of doing the full circle. With the request of coming into shoulder stand, I do want to work into the neck and shoulders and warm it up. And as you're breathing, let your neck be your own personal flow to the rhythm of your breath, like your breath is your own personal music. And take it as gentle or as more fluid as it feels right in your body. The next time your right ear stays near your shoulder, reach your right arm up. Not pulling, just simply using the weight of your right hand. Let the right hand drag against your head. If you want it to go a little stronger into the neck, you can always take left hand down on the ground. Press a little firmer. Turn your gaze down to the right thigh, chin toward your right armpit. Reach back as though you're drawing a line from the third eye point to the base of the skull. And let your fingertips cut the base of the skull. And then your head hangs heavy. Your arm weighted moves the stretch a little bit more into the shoulder blade. Where's your breath? Can you find the same rhythmic breath we started with when we were centering? And then as your head comes up, we'll start the circle going the other way. Hands can be on the knees. And if you need to switch the legs, I welcome you. This would be a good time to change positions if your legs are getting uncomfortable. Tuck chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder. Let the head fall back away from you and right ear comes around. This is the same circle opposite pattern that we did before. Notice any difference from your right side to your left side. One side may be more fluid, more easily moving. The next time your left ear stays near your left shoulder, bring left arm up and over to the opposite side of the head. Like we did before, it's a simple weighted movement of the arm, resisting the urge to pull against your head too heavily. And you have the option of taking right hand down to the ground. Let your breath fill the space from your right earlobe, down the side of your neck, down your arm. With the gaze, look down at your left thigh, tuck your chin toward your armpit. Reach back through the center line drawn from between your eyebrows to the base of the skull. And tuck your chin. Hooking fingers against the notch on the base of the skull or the line on the base of the skull. Breathing. Inhale, lift your head. As your head lifts, arms go up to the sky. Eagle arms, right arm comes under left. Wrap. 3 choices. You can either give yourself a hug, or you can take the back of your hands together and stop there, or you can take your palms together. Slide the elbows off the chest. Take a deep breath between your shoulder blades. Can you get wider between your shoulder blades? Take a deeper breath. Inhale, the arms hug a little tighter together. The elbows are lifted. The shoulders slide into your back pockets. And again, deep breath into the middle of your upper back. Widen the space with the inhale between the shoulder blades. Notice any difference. Inhale, float arms up, eagle arms again, but this time left arm underneath right. Again, 3 choices. You can wrap and hug your shoulders, or second choice, back of the hands, or third choice, palms. Take the elbows off the chest, create more space in your chest. Keep the elbows high, slide the shoulder blades towards the hips, breathe into the upper back. Feel the arms firmer at the points where they touch. Feel the elbows up as the shoulder blades slide down, and again, deep breath across the shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades. Inhale all the way up. Exhale back down. Diamond shape the legs if you're not already there. As you diamond shape the legs, open your feet like a book. Give yourself a mini massage. You can press in any points that feel good. There are some marma points, kind of similar to pressure points in the feet that feel really nice. And sometimes you can find one that's really nice just above the heel. Give some gentle pressure there. If you feel a tender point, you're probably finding one. It doesn't have to be wrong or right. If it feels good, it's great. And this gentle self-massage is great for self-care, great for grounding. Hold either ankles or toes, and remember, if this is intense for you, bring the feet a little bit more forward. That'll make it a little gentler in the body. Inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, forward fold. It's more important to keep a flat back rather than how far you're going. I find it's nice to hold on to the feet, soften the elbows, and lean the belly and the chest past the toes. Of course, they're not really going there, but this is how we're thinking. Keep breathing. If you have a flat back, you're welcome to take it down as far as you're comfortable. Inhale, bring it up, hands on the shins or the knees. We'll do a seated cat-cow. Inhale, belly up, heart lifts. Exhale, lean back so much you might actually tumble if you weren't holding on. Tuck your chin, look at your belly, look inward. Notice what you need tonight to pay attention to. Inhale, send your belly forward. Open your heart, shoulder blades come closer together. Exhale, widen in the upper back. Breathe into your spine, tuck your chin. We'll do it 3 more times. Inhale, go forward and up. Exhale, round, stretch your spine back. Again, inhale takes us through. And exhale, we tuck our chin and breathe. Last time if you're with me. Exhale, come back around. Come to center. Right hand goes behind your back. Left hand knee or thigh. Watch your right hand. It's not so far back we're leaning. We're still nice and tall. Get taller on the inhale, like you're lifting from the crown of the head. Exhale, twist from your belly button towards the space behind you. Stay there, get taller again. Inhale, press your bottom into the ground, lift your head a little higher. Exhale, twist from your heart towards the space behind you. And one more time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Only bring your head back to center. Tuck your chin, look at your front shoulders. So now we're looking at our left shoulder. Slide your shoulders away from your ears and relax the shoulders as you tuck your chin. Feel the difference in the opposite shoulder. Feel the difference in the opposite side of your neck. Bring it around into the twist so the head realigns, and then everything comes back to center together. Left hand goes close behind. Watch out that it's not too far back. Right hand to shin, knee, or thigh. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist from your belly button. Keep your belly button in towards the spine. Again, inhale, get a little taller. Exhale, twist from your breastbone, like your heart's turning towards the space around. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. As we did on the other side, only bring your head to center. Tuck your chin, relax your shoulder. Tuck your chin, look at your front shoulder. Notice any difference there? Can you feel the opposite side of your neck? Can you breathe into the opposite side of your neck with your long, rhythmic, yogic breath? Invite your head to turn into the twist like we did a moment ago, and unravel all the way. Straighten the legs out in front of you. If you like to find your sits bones, you can always peel away the fleshy part of your seat. And hands near your sides if it helps you stay tall. If you tend to round your back, this is really helpful. And we'll windshield wiper the feet side by side to side. Nice movement in the ankles, the toes, goes all the way up into hips. And then open and close your feet as if you were in European cars. And if you're a little too close, you can always open the feet a little wider than hip distance. If your toes cross, switch which one comes in front and the other. Feel the balance between feeling tall and open and yet down into your feet, grounded. And we'll point and flex the feet. I like to do one at a time just because my mat wiggles. You might want to do it that way too. And make some circles. You can always do this feet exercise in a chair, at a desk, at work, on an airplane, and switch directions. A few weeks ago I was just in India, and I certainly needed to add my gentle yoga stretches on the plane from JFK to Delhi. And we'll wiggle our toes. Push your big toe towards the top of your mat and take every other toe back towards your belly, and switch it. Take your big toe back towards your belly, every other toe towards the top of the mat, and wiggle it out one more time. Right foot stays forward, left foot in our thigh. Get taller on the inhale. I mentioned in past videos it's always helpful to have a scarf or a strap. If you can't reach your foot, I like using the prop, especially for those people asking me to do more work with the feet, because without holding the foot, you're not going to get the same stretch in the plantar fascia. So maybe take a scarf or a strap or a belt around the ball of the foot. Then as you're holding, resist the urge. Sometimes in yoga classes, teachers don't correct this, but we bend our elbows, we use all this work in our arms. Can you come into a place, if you're using a strap, where you're holding as straight as possible in the arms, so as far down the leg? And then how much can you pick up your lowest ribs? Pick up your lowest ribs. And take your lowest ribs a little closer to your knee and reach forward. And then soften through your elbows and lift your heart and take your breastbone a little closer to your foot. And even if you're using a strap, how much can you draw every little toe back in towards your face with the strength of your foot? Feel the difference in your calf, maybe your hamstring, maybe the bottom of the foot. And then hold the strap or the outside of the foot with your opposite hand. So left hand on the outside of the foot or the scarf or the strap. Right hand, you have two choices. Right hand on the hip. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, if you'd like to go deeper, take right hand towards the space behind you. Notice it's a common mistake to reach just with your arm. Can you lift up your chest and turn from the center of your chest towards the space behind you? Show yourself you can stay steady in your breath as you take in the world around you. You can stay solid and grounded in the space that you're in. Unravel yourself, and we'll switch legs. Extend left leg, flex the toes up, right foot inner thigh, Janu Shirshasana. As I mentioned before, you can use a belt or a strap or a scarf or nothing at all if you have the reach. Inhale, lift the heart. I do want to reach the foot because I'm doing this as requested to include some stretches for the foot. Of course, if that's not as important, you can always hold your ankle. Inhale, lift up your lowest ribs. Create a little more space in your lower belly. Reach the rib cage past the belly. Lift your heart. Angle your heart towards your foot. Reach your toes towards your nose towards your toes. Even out shoulders if possible. And find your breath. Show yourself you can find balance within the layers of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Come up, hold opposite edge of the foot with the right hand, or take opposite hand to strap. Get a little taller in the inhale, create space in your lower belly. First choice, left hand on the hip. Turn from your belly button towards the space. Turn from your heart towards the left side of your mat. If you'd like to extend left arm and resist the urge to crank the arm, but simply keep your arm bone plugged into the shoulder socket and then turn from the middle of your torso. I can show you in the side video, a lot of people crank the arm. That looks a little different. If you work from your belly button, your rib cage, and move from the torso, you see a stronger straight line with my arms. Come back all the way around. And we'll swing around hands and knees. Knees are hip distance apart. Common way to figure that out is two fists. Spread the fingers. Fingers spread to take the weight out of the wrists. Toes push down to take the weight out of just the knees. And we'll start with a cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, look at the belly button. I don't always in my traditional classes flip the feet for this, but for the sake of the request, let's flip the feet. Inhale, turn your toes under, lift the heart, come into your cow. Exhale, tops of the feet to the mat, tuck your chin, look at your belly. Let's do it 3 more times that way. Tuck the toes under, lift the heart, come into your back bend. Exhale, round the back like a scared cat, push it into the tops of the feet. 1 more time, flip the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. exhale around the back. Child's pose, your choice to do it more traditionally or turn the toes under. And as you turn the toes under, press your bottom into your heels, drop the head, and breathe. Next round of breath, realign the feet more traditionally. Reach towards the tops of your mat, lift your hips, curl your toes, come into your first downward dog. And of course, you can pedal it out, shake the hips, play with it. If you're new to down dog, hands are shoulder distance, feet are hip distance. Your heels will maybe not ever touch the mat, but they will for some people. Your gaze, your head is dropped, your gaze is toward your legs. And come up high on your toes and lift your seat. And then bend your knees. And press from the belly of your hamstring down through your heels. And if you can't keep your weight even through hands and feet, then keep a slight bend in the knees. Come onto your toes. Take both heels to the right side of your mat and push all the way down like you're twisting your feet to one direction. Come onto your toes. Push both heels to the left side of your mat and push your heels down. And inhale, right leg towards the sky. Step the right knee through, put the right foot on the ground. Now, if that's a new transition for you, it is a tricky transition. So you can always, if your foot's a little far back, you can always pick it up. Or the other way is to take your opposite leg a little further back. With hands on either side of your foot, rock forward and back. Often my knee pops in this one a lot, and it doesn't matter how much yoga I've done for the day. So if I pop and creak and crackle, maybe you can giggle if you're doing the same. Take your front leg straight, and if it feels awkward to straighten it, I find with some people, you just need to move your foot a little bit more forward. Peel your toes a little closer to your shin. Let your bottom drop, but don't sit all the way on your back leg. Lift up your heart. I mentioned the lower belly a lot. Can you pick up your ribcage past your lower belly? I don't care how much belly you have. And lift your ribcage up and lead with your ribcage. Resist the urge to bend the front knee. Creep the hands forward. If you wanted to, you could even hold on to the front toes and bring them a little closer to your shin. You should feel this in your hamstring, your calf, the bottom of the foot, or one of those places. Come back to center. As you come back to center, lift off the back knee. That might require a little more balance, and if you're wobbly, it's no big deal. Keeping left hand on the mat, float right arm up. Remember how I talked about the arm. Resist the urge to crank with your arm, but open your chest. Gaze can follow. Notice your back heel. How much can you press through the back heel? And hand floats down. Step back to downward dog. In down dog, if you'd like to bend your knees and pedal it and play with it, you are welcome to do so. Keep breathing. Look forward, invite your left foot up. Come up through the hands. Drop the right knee, and remember, if you need to adjust, slide the knee. One thing to notice is your front knee is over your ankle, but the back leg, you're not really in a 90-degree angle with the back leg. You can see in the side video. Hands on either side of the foot, rock back and forth. As I mentioned, I creak and crackle in this. You might too. The general rule is pops aren't a big deal in yoga, and of course if there's an injury or if they're painful, notice that and stop if you need to. But little creaks and crackles don't always make us worried. Send your hips back without sitting on your heels so far. Toes come in, lift your heart, lengthen, creep your fingers forward. You may just want to use your hand, hold on to your toe if you can reach it. And how much can you reach your chest towards the top of the foot towards your shin? And more important than anything else, are you still breathing? Notice the difference if you slow down the breath and just take a breath. We can show ourselves even when we're uncomfortable in life, how the breath can calm us down and help us feel safe. Walk your foot forward, lift off your back knee. If you need to realign feet, do. Firm through your back heel, straight through your back leg. Right hand on the mat. Open up left arm to the sky. Notice if your arm bone is plugged into your shoulder socket. Do the work from the midline of your torso. Find your breath. Exhale, hand to the ground. Step or walk up to the top of the mat. Inhale halfway. Exhale, take hands to opposite elbow. Your head heavy like a bowling ball. Maybe shake out a few big exaggerated yeses. Shake out a few big exaggerated no's. And keep breathing. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, take your first two fingers on your big toes, and if you need to bend your knees to do this, you can bend as much as you need to. Hold on to your big toes. Whenever you're ready, maybe not today, lift your hips, drop your head. Reach your lower belly under your rib cage, and if possible, get a little energy lift in the toes so you might feel the difference in the backside of your legs. Take a breath into your back. See if you can spread wider in the back body. And inhale, let's go up halfway again. If you're more advanced, you can always keep fingers on the ground. If you are beginner, I suggest hands on the shins. And then take your hands against your shins. Push your legs away from your torso. Push your torso away from your legs. Can you feel any difference? Exhale, bend your knees. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Hands go under the feet. Palms tuck. Palms up under the toes. Now that might be challenging and you might need to bend your knees a lot to do that. Any amount, lift your hips. Any amount, drop your torso and head. If your hands are under more, you might give a little pull on your wrist so the toes lift up a little higher. And what difference do you feel in the back of your legs and maybe even the bottom of your feet? Keep breathing. Can you soften any part of this pose? Roll yourself up. One vertebrae at a time, let go of the feet. Take as much time as you need to come to standing. Rock forward and back. I like to do this before balance poses, but especially thinking about opening up the feet, this is a nice one to do. Let your feet go side to side, inside to outside arches. If you didn't know, we have 3 arches in the feet. Inside edges, outside edge, and right underneath the base of the toes. And then pick up every single toe. You might not be able to see it on the video so clearly, but pick up your toes. Spread your toes as wide as you can. And one at a time, place each toe back down. Land on your feet in the 4 corners evenly, the base of the big toe, base of the little toe, edges of the heel. And grow your pose up from there like a foundation of a house. Lift the inner arches. Feel the firmness in your legs as your kneecaps lift and your tailbone reaches down and your belly buttons in and your lowest ribs slightly towards the hips and shoulders under ears and skull bones back just slightly. Inhale up all the way. Exhale, forward fold. From here, right knee bends, left leg straight. Tent your right fingers, and if you need to use a book or a block, that would be perfectly okay here. Breathe the left arm to the sky, and I love to come into the stretch for the IT band and the hamstring. Anything in the back of the leg goes all the way down the legs. And we'll switch sides, same thing, other side. Bend the left knee, right leg straight or close to it. Use a block if you can't touch the ground, and right arm comes up all the way. Next round of breath, squat down onto the balls of the feet. It's always nice to come onto the balls of the feet and then place knees down. Keep the toes curled under and sit back. Toes curled under, we'll simply make some circles with the wrists. Really nice for the feet to stretch and change direction. And point and flex. Then flip the feet, sit between your feet, and if your bum can't touch the ground between the feet, sit on a pillow or a blanket. If you'd like to, you can take elbows to the ground. If you'd like to, you can take your head to the ground. Come all the way back up. Keeping the left foot where it is, take right leg straight, and if possible, put your foot on your thigh. You can take your right hand behind your back, and I like to grab my foot, but that might be too challenging, so just simply place the hand on the ground. Inhale, left arm to the sky. Twist left arm to the outside of your knee and tuck the palm out and fingers under. Lift up, inhale, and twist. Now remember, this might be too intense, and if it is, simply put your back hand on the ground and hold knee as best you can. Switch sides. That's a challenging one to flip through, so we'll just take right foot next to our bum. You can keep your front leg straight, or if possible, take your foot on your thigh. Left hand goes behind the back. If you can reach it, you can grab the foot. If not, left hand on the ground. Right arm up to the sky. Take palm out, tuck fingers under your knee. Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist. Inhale all the way back. I don't want to make this video too long, as I'm sure your personal practice doesn't always allow for tons of time. So we'll start to roll ourselves down. As you roll yourself down, you have a choice to spiral rock a little bit, forward and back, length of your spine. Maybe even side to side. Hold right knee in towards your belly. Open right arm to a T, left hand on the outside of your leg, and twist. Option to make it a little bit more intense with or without a strap. You could always hold the outside of your foot. Getting into the foot, the IT band and the strap is optional here if you need it to help get the reach. Come all the way back, bring left knee into the belly. Switch legs, right leg extends. Add your twist, open left arm to a T. Slide it across. Remember, you have the option to straighten the left leg, hold the foot, or use a strap to get the reach. And bring it all the way back. Knees in, hold on to your kneecaps. And circle like you're drawing circles with your knuckles. Then change directions. Half happy baby, left foot on the ground, right hand on the foot or the toe or the ankle. Bend your right elbow, draw your knee towards the outside of the rib cage. Placing your right foot on the ground, left foot to the sky. Hold the outside of the left foot, bend the elbow, bring the left knee towards the outside of the rib cage. And then traditional happy baby. If it's hard for you to hold the feet in your tailbone lifts, simply hold the ankles. It's more important to keep the tailbone down. And maybe play with it, rock side to side, or stretch it out. And then hug knees back in and rock a little. Yogi's choice, you can stay rocking, simple rock, or you can take your hands to your lower back, and I'll slide up to give some more space. Hands on the lower back, feet don't need to touch the ground but might. And you can always play with it by dropping your knees. And elbows creep in, and sometimes it's helpful to bring a strap against your elbows to bring it there. And if you have your plow pose, you can take your hands on your lower back and your legs straight up to the sky. And reaching through the balls of your feet.
And then rolling yourself down. Diamond shaping the legs, bottoms of the feet come to touch, and feel a more neutral position after all the work we did today. Opposite position, open your feet wider or tuck your knees to touch. Float, take your arms up, passive embrace, and let yourself settle. Open arms to any space around you and find your breath and windshield wiper knees side to side. And when you're ready, start to stretch yourself into final resting pose. Legs can stretch out, feet are separated, eyes are closed. If you want to adjust any way, you need to adjust. As you're resting, if you notice in the video, if you have your eyes open, I'm going to sit back up just to guide your relaxation. But I encourage you to rest on the ground, and if it hurts your back to be flat, certainly bend your knees. And follow along with me. Feel your hair relax and your eyes sink deeper. Your jaw unhinged and your mouth spacious. Your throat fills your neck. And your shoulders droop away from the heart as the heart blossoms. And your arms drain into the ground as your fingers curl in. And your liquid breath meets your liquid belly. And your legs land heavy. Your legs land heavy. Your feet are planted in the nourishing earth. With every breath, your body sinks deeper. With every breath, the imprint of your body is a little deeper. And let your breath take over. With each breath, feel yourself retreat inside of the layers of yourself. And feel yourself nourished with self-care, self-love. Notice yourself in space. Find your breath. And feel the power of your breath that will help you feel whole. And lying down, keep your eyes closed, wiggle your toes and your fingers. Start to bend your knees and place them on the mat. And curl over to the right side using your arm like a pillow. And when you're ready, come all the way back up to sit. I encourage you to keep eyes closed as we draw our hands into Anjali Mudra, prayer hands in front of the heart, with your thumb knuckles pressing into your heart space. We'll close with 3 ohms. Join me if you'd like. If you've never done an ohm, hold your mouth like there's a golf ball and keep it hollow. Deep breath. The light in me honors the light in you, and I thank you very much for joining me today. Namaste.